widow's son. First key into getting right into Masonic knowledge in this book, and why the Masons have put their insignia on that book, and not on the Quran, not on the Bhagavad Gita, but on the Bible, because it is Moorish science that they have inherited as Masonic science. Elizabeth Cooper, in her book, Medieval Freemasonry, and her footnotes, writes Freimar, which is the German articulation, but her interpretation of Freimar is this. She doesn't interpret more. Freemason. And any scholar of any report knows this is more in the Greco-Latin, German, English language. In fact, Clinton almost gave it away when he was talking to the East Germans when they tore down the wall. He said, East Germany is frei. It is frei. You know, he almost said fry more. He had to catch himself. Frei means free. So we enter it by the meaning of words. Key thing for the student of divine and human and cultural nature is to know the meaning of words. As we pointed out about the concept of apocalypsis, it does not mean tragedy, the planet's coming to an end. This is how you shave off accumulated stress and worry. Find out what the hell people are talking about, you know, and what things really mean. We're getting out of the collective consciousness. We're not part of the herd anymore. So when somebody says boo, we don't run. You know, it happens. We were downtown on Alabama Street, and somebody from way down on the other end of the corner, some kids, so run up the street and got midway in the street and hollered, "He got a gun!" And everybody started running. Oh, folks! Oh, you know, that's the collective consciousness that moves in beliefs, that moves in superstition, that crosses the street when the light turns green and a car hasn't passed in 15 minutes. And they stand there and wait and wait and wait and wait on the light for a light to tell them to cross the street. That's the collective mind. That's what we're getting out of by way of knowledge. Truly, knowledge is power. I want you to read this chapter here, because I'm never going to tell you all of something. Don't expect me to. In fact, don't expect anybody to teach you A to Z. Hell, they won't leave you nothing to do. But you need the keys to open those doors of the temple. What's the temple? Young lady. Don't be doing it. If you do this long enough, your hair will come off. Don't do this. You do know. Stop and think. You didn't stop to think. Your head, as soon as I said that, your head went like this. You're sitting in the temple. Thank you. Wherever you see the word temple, it means your body. It doesn't mean the synagogue, the church, and the masjid. It means your body. In anybody's sacred scripture, including the Kibali. For those who know these laws understandably, for him, all the doors of the temple will magically fly open. Talking about your spiritual doors, not some temple in the east somewhere. Okay? So wherever you see the word temple, it's talking about your body. Important. He was a widow's son from the tribe of Naphtali, and his father was a man of Tirah, a worker in bronze. And he was filled with wisdom and understanding, and skill for doing any work in bronze. So he came to King Solomon and performed all his works, and he fashioned the 2 pillars of bronze. 18 cubits was the height of one pillar, and a line of 12 cubits measured the circumference of both. We're not talking about cubits in symbology. We're talking about, in this, 18, which is what? Come on, let me hear. What is 18, y'all?
9.
Thank you. Is anybody in the temple? Okay. 12 is what?
3.
No, it's not. That's 12. Ain't that 12?
3.
Is that 12? The theologian is talking about trying to find cubits and stuff to try to... That ain't what the book is talking about. These are not the measurements of a temple outside. These are the measurements of your body in the circle of 360 degrees divided by 12 segments of 30 degrees. Ain't it? Put your head like this. Because we went over this here, okay? But now we're applying it to self in those secret places, so that you know the knowledge is relevant to your spirituality and to your destiny. That's what's important about this book, the Bhagavad Gita, the Quran, 99 books. Still talking about a circle. Okay. Don't let loose of that, because if you do, you're going to slide right back down on your knees. Okay. Stay upright. All right. I'll read that again, verse 15. And he fashioned the 2 pillars of bronze. 18 cubits was the height of one pillar, and a line of 12 cubits measured the circumference of both. These are the symbols of. A pillar is a symbol of your left and right nervous systems, the cerebral, spinal, sympathetic nervous systems. Those are the pillars that hold you upright. If they shut off, you collapse. That's how you go to sleep. If the brainstem cuts off the neuron transmitters to the nervous system, so that you no longer need to sit up, keep your eyes open, and stay conscious. And you blink it. But this is the architecture of Solomon's temple. And where's Solomon's temple? Okay, let's see if I can trick you. Thank you, darling. Thank you. That's right. You are Solomon's temple. Wait a minute. It's written the other way. This is the way one author writes. Sol, Om, Om. The sun, the word, now this is, in one literature, it is Anu. In the other writing, it is written S-O-L, Om, and then Mom. This is the Latin word for man. So when you see man, as in more man, that means more man. Okay? The Latter-day Saints are Mormons. They are Moors, following your ethnocentric cultural identity. And their Christ is called Morani. All right. Okay. Oh, we got me hooked upstairs up there, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I guess
So I don't have to trip all over the car no more. Is that what you're trying to tell me, brother?
Yeah, turn it up.
Oh, okay. Is it on there?
Well, camera's good.
I forgot I didn't have the thing on.
Camera's good.
The camera's still on?
Yes.
Are we getting any sound?
Yes.
Okay, that's wonderful. I don't look too intelligent sitting there moving my mouth and no words coming out. Okay. Okay, let's look at the two poles. Now, I wanted to, this is like evidencing what's there is scriptural, okay? So I'm going to skip over to verse, okay, verse 20 to
Kings 7,
verse 21. 1 Kings 7, 13 is where you start. Then we're going to switch over to verse 21. Thus he set up the pillars at the porch of the nave, and he set up the right pillar and named it Jokthim, or Jokchin. And he set up the left pillar and named it Boaz. Boaz. And on top of the pillars was lily design, so the work of the pillars was finished. Now he made the sea of cast metal. Okay, we're getting past where I'm going. Okay. This is Jokthim, represents the sun. In Egyptian symbology, one of these pillars is a female, Isis. The other is a male, Ra. Okay? One, the cerebral spinal system deals with your intellect thinking processes throughout the whole of the mental body. The other, the sympathetic nervous system, deals with your feeling and emotional feeling nature. Those are the male-female principles of nature. And when they're in disharmony, in conflict, that human being is in serious trouble. Much of our striving and struggling is because we cannot balance. We cannot equate our thinking, our feelings, and our emotions in a perpendicular line. We're in conflict in some part of our own individual nature. That's why we argue. The argument is not with the other person, it's with oneself. But being so subjectively involved in the compulsion of our emotional nature, our feeling nature, we can't distinguish that we're really arguing with ourselves. And if we record our arguments, we usually answer our own question in the argument. So these pillars, these great pillars, represent your nervous system, the support of the whole of what makes you a human being, as opposed to an upright chicken or an upright duck. Not that they don't have a cerebral spinal system. It's not hooked into the will center. They're hooked into the subconscious. Now he made the sea cast metal 10 cubits from brim to brim. I missed one symbol here. Isn't here. Verse 17. There were nets of network and twisted threads of chain work for the capitals, which were on top of the pillars. 7 for the one capital and 7 for the other capital. Those twisted networks you will find on the back of the dollar bill, the web, to let you know that the whole architectural design that is being talked about in this particular chapter is about the zodiac and how the zodiac describes and circumscribes your human and divine nature. That's the first entrance into Masonic science. Not Masonic symbology, which is in the Brotherhood. Okay? You can buy that on the shelves, so that you can shake hands and get favors, get the right grip, the right hug, the right stance, so that you can get a raise or get out off scot-free in front of your brother. But don't think you get away with anything. There is nothing down here free. Understand that. Okay? Understand that everything you get, you certainly will pay for. So everything you pay for, you may not get. But the symbol of the sun and moon is intellect, masculine, moon, mother, or emotional. So again, we have what? This is masculine, and this is feminine. What does that say?
That's the duality.
What word is up there on top of those two pillars?
Sun and moon.
What word is up there? You see me moving over out your way, don't you?
Jason.
Thank you.
Sun, moon, moon,
All right. So we know that this is a natural word from nature, translated into English. It may be something else. In the Latin, it is masine, which means the messenger. But that's exoteric. That's the outer. We're talking esoteric, the inner. Okay. Let me go a little faster here because I want to cover a certain amount of this.
Sure.
Sir, the chart is not on the video. Thank you. Okay. Let us move it on the video. Can we be seen now?
A little bit more.
A little bit more.
There you got it.
Got it there. Okay. Kind of hemmed in here, but that's all right. Made some symbols.
Excuse me, the flowers are not way in the back.
Okay, my brother. Okay. Brother, sit those on top of, comfortably and carefully on top of that machine, so we have no sliding and no foul magic going on. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. These are the three minor degrees of the candidate for the Masonic order. The entered apprentice, the one who's invited into the Masonic order. You don't go knocking on the door and say, what's up? Okay, somebody takes you to the door. Knowing nothing is a state that is assumed for the entered apprentice. Doesn't matter if you've been studying 86 years. When you walk into that chamber, you're ignorant. That's the assumption the initiate must make, because the master mason is making that assumption about him. The fellow craftsman, the one who learns the meaning of his craft. Now this is where the word witchcraft gets intertangled with the legitimacy of the science and the art of the Moor and Mason. This does not mean that there are no witches, and that there isn't a craft called witchcraft. There is, but witchcraft means wisdom craft. That would be then the spiritual sciences and arts, astrology, numerology, and of course symbology. Then behind closed doors we get into various degrees of magic. The problem is there is a dark side in that order, just as there's a dark side in the Baptist church, the Holiness church, in the masjid, in the the devil is wherever God is. He ain't gonna leave it. So you need to be able to make the distinction between who you're talking to and with. And you can tell them by their fruits. The dark side will tell on itself. Just like the good side will tell on itself. You know them by their fruits. Their fruits first are their words. They're always speaking something favorable, something positive. They're always trying to shed some light. The dark side is always busy lying and conniving and sneaking, doing the snake, which means sneak. Okay. Then the Master Mason degree. When one reaches a certain level of, now what we have here is two aspects of a science. One is ritual and symbols. When you learn a certain amount of knowledge in this order, you can reach these degrees without having power. That's probably the problem, because it is both an exoteric order and an esoteric order, an outer order and an inner order. The spiritual goes on by yourself. The exoteric is about the brotherhood. Notice I'm not saying brotherhood. I'm saying brotherhood. That's a Masonic word for brother. Okay? Brotherhood, the brotherhood. Met a preacher on the bus going back to Cleveland from Atlanta in despair. And I happened to look back and saw the pin on the dude's suit. I said, "Oh, you traveling east, huh?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Are you among the brethren?" I said, "No, I'm not traveling by donkey, but by air." And we started talking. He was amazed that I knew something about what he considered to be exclusively Masonic science, which told me he may not have known that he was a Moor. I don't know, But I let him know who I was and where this knowledge is being found. The Royal Ark degree is the higher order. Now, I'm in question as to whether there is a black order of the Royal Ark. The Royal Ark degree in the European school includes astronomers as well as astrologers. Okay,